Hey everyone, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a layout for the Cut Shop design team, and I'm using the twirly and swirly cut file, and I'll leave it linked down below for you guys. So if you're interested in the file, you can check it out. I'm also using a collection from Rosie's Studio that I will also leave linked down below. This was actually sent to me from my friend Lacey. Rosie Studio had sent her a whole bunch of this collection, and she received so much of it, she knew that she wasn't going to be able to use all of it, so she actually split what she received from them and sent me half of the stuff. And I was so excited because I really loved this collection. We both really loved the collection. She really liked it because it has the little ballerina dancers in some of the papers and embellishments, and I really love the colors, and then the fact that there was some black in this collection. So I was very excited that she shared this with me, and I have been dying to use it. So I'm using it here on this layout, and I'm just going through and backing this cut file with some of the papers from the 6x6 paper pad. I was going to use the 12x12 papers, and then I remembered that I had the 6x6, and I like using 6x6 pads better when I back cut files. So I'm just going to go through some of these on camera with you, or on video, and go ahead and back them. I cut the cut file out on some American Craft Smooth white cardstock. This is my favorite cardstock to use when cutting cut files. I'm also going to use a piece of the white American Crafts cardstock as my background. I'm just using my Tombow adhesive to glue everything down. And then once I get everything backed with the 6x6 papers, I'm going to add some splatters to my background paper with some Tim Holtz Distress inks and then some black Heidi Swapp Color Shine. The three colors that I pulled out for the Distress inks are Spun Sugar, Shaded, Lilac, and I believe Victorian Velvet. The ones that I use, I'll leave them linked down below if you're interested, and they were the ones that I thought went well with the collection and the colors that I'm using for this layout. So this cut file did not take very long at all to back. The shape of the little swirlies obviously are all circles, so it was really easy to just trace the circle and then cut inside of the line that I drew, and then back them with the Tombow glue. So there is the file all cut, or all backed, and I'm going to add the splatters with the colors that I pull. First I'm going to go through some of the die cuts that Lacey had sent. She split the ephemera pack with me and sent me half of the die cuts. So I'm just going to pull out some of the ones that I think I'm going to use on this layout. And then here are some of the other embellishments that I also received from Lacey. And I'll leave them all linked down below so that you guys can check out all of the collection from Rosie's Studio. So here are all the inks, and I'm just going to apply some ink to an acrylic block, add some water, and then use a paintbrush just to add splatters all over the white background. And I know most of this will get covered up, but you'll still see some color poking out under the cut file. So here's the shaded lilac, and then I just splatter the color and kind of soak it up a little bit with my napkin. And I don't add gesso or anything to the white cardstock. I don't use a whole lot of water and moisture so the paper doesn't warp. Once I sprinkle it, I go and blot it up quite a bit. And even adding it directly to the paper, just like that with my acrylic block, it didn't do any warping or anything like that. Now, if you were going to add a whole bunch of color and mists and paints and stuff, then I would highly recommend adding gesso to the cardstock. So I'm going to go in with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in black. And I did leave this overnight to dry. I started this on one day and then finished it the following morning. And the Heidi Swapp Color Shine still was not dry the next day, and I didn't even realize or even test it or anything. I just figured it would be dry. So some of the splatters like smeared and smudged a little bit, and some of it got covered up, but some of it that was not covered up by the cut file, you can kind of see the smear marks, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Was thinking maybe I'll cover it up with some enamel dots, but it didn't work out that way. So I'm just going to back the photo here that I have with some papers from the 6x6 paper pad. And the photo is of me and, let's see, it's my brother's, one of my younger brothers, the day that he got married. And it's me and my 3 brothers. I am the only girl. And I have one older brother and then the 2 younger brothers. David, Lee, John, and then Ruben is the oldest. And this was on my brother John. Everyone calls him John, but we always call him John. His wedding day. So I'm very, very pregnant in this photo and very swollen. But I love this photo so much. I don't know who took it, but the photographer was taking photos. So we're looking at the photographer. But somebody must have taken the photo off to the side, and it might have been my husband Mike, or it might have been my mom, I'm not sure. But anyway, somehow it ended up on my phone, and I printed it out, and I love the way it came out. Excuse me. So I'm using that, and I added some layers of paper, pattern paper from the 6x6 paper pad to the back of the photo. And then I will place it down on the layout. I did add some foam behind my cut file so that it popped up from the background. And I struggled with this layout. And actually this is the second layout that I did for the cut shop. I started with one of the newer release cut files. And that did not go the way I wanted. So I totally took that layout apart and redid it on a different background, and it still didn't go the way I wanted. I actually sent a picture of it to Ashley, and I actually just took the whole layout and took it and set it aside. And you know what? I'm just going to start over with a whole new cut file and a whole new layout because I was not feeling that one at all. And sometimes that happens. I look at the layout now and I'm like, it's really not that bad. But I was just not feeling it, and I don't know what was going on, so I just cut a new cut file, pulled a new collection, and started over. I was just, I don't know, in a funk. And even this layout, I kind of struggled. I struggled with it. I struggled with the placement of my photo. I struggled with where I wanted the embellishments to go. And I don't know. That just happens sometimes, I guess. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. But I struggled, and I left some of my struggle in the video where I'm trying to figure out where I want the photo, and I kind of move it around, tried to put embellishments around it, and then moved it again. It does end up staying right here, but it did take me some time to finally get it to this point. And even now, when I look at it, I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with it, but I'm glad that I did get the photo printed and on a layout. So I'm just adding some embellishments around the layout and sticking some foam adhesive behind the photos, in the corners and things, just so that it pops up a little bit and I can stick more embellishments behind it. I'm going to take this flower here and cut it in half, and I do this a lot with floral die cuts. I like to cut them in half, that way I can use them on each side of the photo and kind of make it seem like there's more, more, what am I trying to say? So if there's only one floral embellishment in a pack, I'll cut it into 2 pieces so that I have 2 flowers, I guess. Because if I stick that whole flower underneath, I just feel like it's a waste. If I can cut it in half and use it in 2 spots, I'm just stretching the die cut a little bit, I guess. So I do that often. So I'm just going to keep placing embellishments and then stick everything down with some adhesive. And I also pull out an epoxy flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. And I try a couple different ones, but the one that I end up choosing is just a white one, and it says I love you on it in black, and I think it has a little pink heart as well, and I kind of stick that in one of my little embellishment clusters. And then that pretty much finishes up my layout. I do just a small strip of journaling that says John John's wedding day. I did type out some other journaling as well, but I ended up taking it off and just using John John's wedding day. So that pretty much finishes up this layout. I do have still shots at the end for you guys. I'll leave links down below of everything that I used and the cut file, and then also a link to the cut shop. All cut files in the cut shop are only 99 cents. So make sure you guys head on over and check them out. There are some new files that just released that are very cute and very summery. So make sure you guys check that out, which I'm very excited for the summer cut files. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this layout. Like I said, I struggled with it. I love the colors in it. I love the photo. I was just having such a hard time. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.